early days, kind of that was it. I mean, you were somebody that used to be. Oh man, I remember when, he was quite a person. What have you. It's all like past tense. You're not past tense. You still are.
My best friend had just gotten out of the hospital with pneumonia, and so I kind of felt like there was something that I had to do. But I saw this flyer for the AIDS vaccine trial, and so I said, why not? So I didn't tell anybody, and I went in, and they met with me, and over a 7-year period, I was inoculated 4 times with the GP120, I think it was Genentech back then, vaccine, and it scared the living daylights out of me because I had no idea what this vaccine would do to me, but it was incredibly important for me to do something that could potentially help stop the epidemic worldwide.
We find that we get the people that are in this equation of what AIDS means in our culture. We get the people that are the most lonely, the most disconnected, and the most isolated. That it seems to me that that's become very clear for the continuum, the AIDS care continuum, that this is where one of the places you can go if you have the least amount of like social and friend resources and love resources and family resources.
So even with something like HIV testing, which is really our core service, and we test over 2,000 guys a year. The goal is obviously, to provide a medically sound service and all that, but really the bigger goal is to build connections between gay men.
Gay City was also a place that literally saved my life. It got to the point to where I was scared to be alone. If I was alone for a certain amount of time, I really thought that I would end it all because I didn't know what the next step was gonna be. But having a place like Gay City or Dungey House, Multi-Faith, it's given people like me hope that, it's not the end.
I returned to Seattle. I thought, to live out my final days. And then, surprise, surprise, they come up with the cocktail, and it worked.
Because, after 20 years, we kind of grow up, and we recognize that we need not only support for the HIV/AIDS, whether it's a drug and alcohol, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a veterans group, whether it's an HIV negative group.
And of course, as the epidemics change and medications have come on board, and we've become more adept at figuring out how to live with the disease, then our clients and our community has had to deal with issues more related to how am I going to live with this disease, and now what do I do? How do I live my life? And those bring up huge existential questions that people have to struggle with, and go from living out your last days or weeks or months to, okay, this is a chronic disease. How am I going to incorporate it into my life? How am I going to live the best life I can?
Well, the great thing about working with other agencies and why we do so much collaborative work is because we can't do everything ourselves, and we're not necessarily suited for that.
There's a benefit to our clients too, because they, instead of just having us or just having Gay City or Multi-Faith or Dungey, they have all of us. And that's been an incredibly powerful experience.
I just know that one of these days, we're going to turn on the news and there's going to be that incredible story where, oh my God, they finally did it. They finally found the vaccine, and this will all be over.
I miss those people. And there isn't a day in my life that I don't think about the people that are gone. And through my journey today, those are the voices and the faces that I remember to give me strength to what I do now within my community.
And even though we've made huge inroads into this kind of treatment and into the policy and the government and the politics and all of that around AIDS. We didn't do that by sitting back. I'll tell you, those men from ACT UP back in the early 90s who wrapped themselves in death cloths and laid on the streets all over this country, who demanded that someone pay attention to them because it was not okay to let them die, those people, they're the ones that have saved the lives of everybody here today. That's what makes a difference. Part of what we do here today for World AIDS Day is we remember those folks. We remember them because they're dead. All of the folks that I work with today have some hope, have some possibility of having a life that is not ending at 28.
Lay down your sweet and weary head. Night is falling. You've come to journey's end. Sleep now and dream of the ones who came before. They are calling from across a distant shore. Why do you